So I've been looking at a lot of videos and my award prediction video is ready. That will be out straight after this. But I saw a video from BBALL which was his 10 bowl predictions for the NBA season, well, for 2018. And what I'm going to do is, he had his for the whole year of 2018, but for mine I'm going to do 5 bowl predictions for the 2017-2018 NBA season. I will leave a link to his video in the description because this is where I got the idea from anyway. So anyway, now let's get on to the 5 bold predictions. So I'm going to react to these predictions at the end of the year just to see how I actually get on. But I'm going to be doing an awards prediction video tomorrow, which is a lot of stuff that I've kind of researched, put a lot of thought into the awards, and these are just things that are just my gut instinct. They're things that might sound far-fetched, but I just have a weird feeling that they might happen. So even though some of them might sound crazy, I will make an awards prediction video where I make a lot more realistic choices, but these are just things that my gut is telling me is going to happen. And yeah, so anyway, now let's get on to the 5 bold predictions. The first one is that the Cleveland Cavaliers will be the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. I know you might think it's crazy, but hear me out. The Cleveland Cavaliers weren't the best regular season team last year, and they got slightly better, possibly, from getting Isaiah Thomas and getting Jay Crowder and getting that pick, so they can probably use the pick to trade for someone like DeMarcus Cousins, who knows, maybe even an Anthony Davis. But I do think that they're going to struggle to start the year. I think their spacing is going to be off because Derrick Rose, who'll probably start at the point, doesn't shoot the ball anywhere near as good as Kyrie Irving does. J.R. Smith is hot and cold. Tristan Thompson doesn't shoot the ball that well. LeBron doesn't shoot it particularly well. And I think their spacing is going to be very off. A bit like the way Chicago Bulls were in the regular season last year. I think that the Celtics are going to probably be the 2 seed, I'm guessing. And then there's 2 other teams. I'm not going to mention which the other 2 are, because one of them is the next bold prediction. So the next bold prediction is that the Washington Wizards will be the 1st seed in the Eastern Conference. I know you might think I'm crazy with that, but again, hear me out on this one. I've already explained slightly why I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers aren't going to be incredible next year. Well, regular season, they're not going to be incredible. Isaiah Thomas doesn't come back until February, so there's a massive spacing issue for the team. Their bench can shoot the ball, likes of Kyle Korver. Who knows, maybe we'll see Kyle Korver start. And crazy enough, we might actually see someone like a Jose Calderon start at the point guard for spacing, just purely for spacing. We have no idea what way the Cleveland Cavaliers are going. I'm going to predict that the Bucks end up as the 3rd seed in the East. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are about 2 years away from really being good, and I might actually flip it around. If it does happen that Jabari Parker is 100% healthy for the full season, which is very unlikely because he hasn't been healthy for a full season yet, then I think that the Bucks are probably the best team in the Eastern Conference, regular season team anyway. But I do think that the Wizards probably are going to be the top seeds. The Wizards last year started off incredibly poorly and still did well enough to end up as the 4th seed in the conference. The Toronto Raptors next year are still quite decent. Like, they're still a decent team. They got Serge Ibaka, they could be up in the mix. But I do think that the Eastern Conference, while it doesn't have star power, still has 5 good teams. And people are saying the East has nobody. But if you look at the top of the Eastern Conference, you see the likes of the Cavs who are good, the Celtics who are really good, the Bucks who are good, the Wizards who are good, the Raptors who are good, the Heat who last season, if they played the first half of the season like they played the second half of the season last year, they would have won 60 games. That's how well the Heat finished last year. So the Heat could be a good team next year. And you just don't know with the Eastern Conference. I actually think the East is a lot stronger than people say. And I think that the Wizards won't make the finals. I think the Cavs will still make the finals, but I think they will make it, surprisingly enough, as the 4th seed in the conference, with the Washington Wizards as the 1st seed, and the Cavaliers probably beating them in 5-6 games in the second round of the playoffs. I know you might think I'm crazy, but again, it's just my opinion. Next, we've got something for Rookie of the Year. My actual prediction for Rookie of the Year is a bit different than this guy. But the more I think about it, the more I think about how this guy might win it. And it's Milos Teodosic to win Rookie of the Year. So if you guys don't know, like, the Los Angeles Clippers built their entire reputation on Lob City. More so than their actual winning basketball. Lob City is what made basketball relevant for the Clippers again. It's what pushed the Clippers over the Lakers as the main team to watch in Los Angeles. And with Chris Paul going, there was a big chance that Lob City was going to die, because Patrick Beverley straight up couldn't pass the ball well enough to like really reignite Lob City. He won't be able to pass the ball well enough. Patrick Beverley is arguably the best defensive point guard in basketball, but he won't be able to do it well enough. And even though overall game, you could argue that Patrick Beverley is a better player than Milos Teodosic, from a purely marketing standpoint, the Clippers are going to want Lob City to stay alive, because the Clippers are going to be, at best, a 5th seed in the Western Conference. So they need something going for them, otherwise they're going to become irrelevant just like they would have been 10 years ago. But Milos Teodosic can change that. Milos Teodosic is probably a better passer, or as good a passer as Chris Paul. He's flashier, and as long as he's there, Lob City is going to be alive. So I can see Milos Teodosic lighting up highlight reels. I can see him averaging 9-10 assists a game, along with maybe 12 points a game, playing absolutely no defense, but he's going to be so flashy. There's going to be so many highlights of him. He's going to be so relevant because he's in a market in LA. Even though it's the Clippers, it's still a big market. So I genuinely do think that Milos Teodosic is going to keep the Clippers' flame ignited for another year at least anyway. And I think that because of that, there may be a chance that he does end up winning the NBA Rookie of the Year. I know it might be a crazy prediction, but again, this is 5 bold predictions. These are just things I have kind of a weird feeling about. If I look at this in 6 months' time, you might think I'm crazy. To be honest, I'm starting to think I'm a little bit crazy while talking about this now. But yeah, these are just things I kind of have a weird feeling that might happen. Next, we have got the MVP. And again, it's a weird one. Again, it's not my actual prediction. And I'm going to predict that Giannis Antetokounmpo wins MVP. I'm going to say that as my bold prediction, because even though like my head is saying someone else, and the guy I have in my head is going to be in my awards prediction video, my heart is thinking that Giannis is going to win it. I think the Bucks are going to have an extremely good record in the regular season. And I think Giannis is going to step up even more than he did last year. Giannis is almost an MVP level player as of right now. Apparently Giannis stepped up big time with his workouts. Giannis improved a lot over the summer. It's always hard to tell, but Giannis can legitimately play 1 through 4, maybe a little bit at the 5. He blocks shots, he gets steals, he runs the floor, he passes well. If he can get a 3-point shot, who knows, Giannis Antetokounmpo could be the best player in the world in a few years. Giannis is actually that good, and I just don't know why. I think that if the Bucks do end up with the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, or even the 2 seed, and Giannis puts up Russell Westbrook type stats, a legit argument could be made for Giannis winning MVP. Because I don't think Kawhi will win it because he's with the Spurs. I don't think the Westbrook will win it because Paul George is there and his stats will take a hit, because obviously Westbrook will not have as good a stat year as last year, and I think because of that, no matter how well he plays, he won't win it. I don't think Harden will win it because CP3 will be having the ball a lot more than Harden. I don't think CP3 will win it. I don't think anyone from the Warriors will win it, which means that it leaves the door open for someone like Giannis Antetokounmpo to win an MVP almost out of nowhere. And even though it might sound crazy, as the season goes on, I do think he's going to be at least top 5 in the MVP voting, and at least top 5 in the MVP race throughout the entire year. And my last bold prediction for the year is that the Warriors will sweep the playoffs. Again, this is something you might think I'm crazy. Oh, the Western Conference has gotten so much better. But has it? Probably the team that did almost the best in the offseason was the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors kept all their players together. Durant took a pay cut so they could keep JaVale McGee, they could keep Iguodala, they could keep Sean Livingston. And look at the players they brought in. They brought in Nick Young, who, if he can fit into the system there, is going to shoot the ball well. Nick Young, while not a great defender, showed last year that he can put in effort on that end of the floor, which is a lot better than a lot of NBA players, and he can be at least not terrible while they're on the floor. And then Omri Caspi, one of the most underrated free agent signings this summer. Omri Caspi is one of the best shooters in the world. If you guys don't remember, he had a shoot off with Steph Curry a couple of years ago, and it was just unbelievable. Omri Caspi is the perfect player for that type of team off the bench. So yeah, like, the Warriors have a better team. I know you might be saying, oh, the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder are a team that I think may take a game off the Golden State Warriors. Solely because they have the inside presence, they have the rebounding advantage over them, they have Westbrook and Paul George, 2 guys that could take over a game. So I actually give, of all teams, I give the Thunder the best chance of winning a game. In San Antonio Spurs, I don't think that the Spurs will face the Warriors straight up. I think the Spurs are going to get to the conference semis. The Spurs are going to be the 2 seed, and the Spurs are probably going to get beaten by the Houston Rockets. I do think that Chris Paul's addition will help the Rockets big time in the playoffs, and it'll take a lot of pressure off James Harden. And I do think that in the end, the Houston Rockets will go out and beat the San Antonio Spurs. But I think the Spurs won't get swept by the Warriors, but I don't think that matchup is even going to happen. And I can't see a team like the Rockets taking a game off the Golden State Warriors. Whoever the 8 seed is, whether it's the Grizzlies, whether it's the Mavs who step up, the Pelicans, the Timberwolves, I can't see any of them coming close to the Golden State Warriors. And I think the Warriors have a great shot of sweeping the playoffs this year. So anyway, that's the video. I'm going to react to this video at the end of the season. And this video is going to stay up no matter what happens. These are just 5 bold, crazy predictions that I think may happen. Again, I could be completely wrong with all of these. This isn't really me talking from my head, because realistically, a lot of these things probably aren't going to happen. These are just some kind of crazy scenarios that I don't know why. I just have a weird feeling that they could happen. It's just what my gut is telling me. So I decided just to make a video on this, and I think it might be a little bit interesting. While maybe sounding a little bit crazy now, it will be very interesting to look at it at the end of the year and see what the difference is. See if I predicted anything right, see if any of these came true, or see if I was just completely crazy and I should always think of head over heart, which you'll see in my awards predictions tomorrow. So anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.